On the top of your screen, you will see some large icons as well as some smaller icons. These smaller icons are referred to as the shortcut panel. With regards to the larger icons, there are clear names underneath each section. But with the shortcut panel, there are no names. Within WorkPool, you can hover over any button and it will tell you what it is. The first button is the blue plus. Hovering over it says it's add a task. Tasks are instructions. In many cases, we receive a verbal instruction, either telephonically or via someone giving us a verbal instruction in the office. For this, we need to create a task inside of WorkPool. This blue plus or add task is where you can come and add that manual instruction. The screen you currently see will be explained in detail during the task training videos. The next button is recurring tasks. Let's take an annual review for Mr. Joe Soap. Recurring tasks are tasks that need to be completed on a regular basis. This annual review needs to be completed once a year. The problem many organizations have is that we rely on human capital and sometimes we forget. By adding a recurring task into WorkPool, you can be assured that no one will forget about the task and that WorkPool will automatically kick off the task and assign it to the appropriate person at the appropriate time. The adding of recurring tasks will be covered in detail in following training videos. The next button is Add an activity. Activities are all the actions we take to complete a task. Activities could be phone calls, emails, SMSs, and documents we scan, just to mention a few. Activities are better explained after you have watched the task training videos. The next button is Last 15 Actions. This is a very helpful tool. In many cases, we work on a section of work or a specific task, and then the phone rings or we get interrupted. We then have to move on to the new client request, log it, and later come back to the previous request we were busy with before we got interrupted. Last 15 Actions shows you the last 15 tasks or activities that you worked on to easily help you to get back to the previous work you were busy with. Most of you should be able to guess what the next button is. The question mark. It means help. When clicking on the help button, a WorkPool training manual and user guide opens up. This is an online version of the WorkPool training manual and user guide. Please note that it is not as comprehensive as the WorkPool training manual provided to you by your WorkPool implementation consultant. If you have not received your comprehensive WorkPool training manual from your WorkPool consultant, please email workpool@ipmg.co.za. The next button is View Task List for Resources. By clicking on this button, it allows me the ability to view what my co-employees or my staff are doing today. What is employee number 1, 3, and 2 busy with today? View task lists for resources also allows me to view external resource task lists as well as any resource groups that I have access to. External resources will be explained in a later section. The next section is My Notebook. This is a section whereby you can make any personal notes. Please note that only you have access to this section in WorkPool. Not even WorkPool administrators can gain access to this section, unless they reset your password. The next section is called My Profile. My Profile allows you to see everything that you have access to inside of WorkPool. The first section is Details. My display name, I am the IPMG WorkPool consultant. Currently, I don't report to anyone inside of this WorkPool. I have access to employee 1, 3, 2, and myself, most importantly. I am an administrator of WorkPool. I have access to the business unit number 1 and business unit number 2. Plus, I'm a member of client maintenance and message templates. These are resource groups. The next section allows me to change my password. Now, when do I need to change my password? Your WorkPool administrator will set a security policy that will prompt you to change your password every X amount of days. This is fully configurable by the WorkPool administrator and is highly recommended. In the event that you believe that someone might have seen your password or your password has been compromised in any way, please go and change your password yourself, as WorkPool provides you this ability. You do not require assistance from a WorkPool administrator or a WorkPool consultant to change your password. All you need to do is enter your current password and then your new password and confirm the new password. Press save and then the new password will take effect. The next section is custom format settings. As a seasoned WorkPool implementation consultant, I recommend to clients that they don't change any of this information unless they really need to. The default value for the date field is currently year, month, day. If this needs to be changed, please take especially care of the month field. If you change that by accident to small m's, that would mean that you have now changed it to minutes. It will therefore read year, minutes, day. This will result in alphanumerical values being displayed in your date fields. To rectify this problem, just deselect Use Custom Format Settings, press Save, and WorkPool will revert everything back to the original state. The next section is called Personal Task Settings. Personal task settings are covered in detail during the administration videos and are normally set up by the WorkPool administrator on your behalf. Personal task settings cover email notifications and text message notifications. You as the user, however, have the following abilities. The first section is task archiving, whereby you can set automatically archive certain tasks. The first one is automatically archive tasks completed by me where I am the resource. Secondly, signed off by me. Thirdly, completed by me upon creating the task. And lastly, signed off as part of a process where I am the owner of the task. As a seasoned WorkPool implementation consultant, I recommend that all clients tick all 4 of these boxes. These settings needs to be done by each user. If you are using WorkPool to manage your billing, you can also mark all tasks as billable by default when I create them, and mark all activities as billable by default when I create them. Please remember to press Save to ensure that these settings take effect. To ensure that the settings save successfully, Save Successful will display on the top of your screen. The next section is Configure Columns. Within WorkPool, in the Task and Activities, Entry Folders, Emails and Items sections, there are various columns that can be configured. As you watch the next set of videos, please bear in mind that all columns in WorkPool are configurable and the order of them can be changed. Next, we'll be looking at custom interface settings. Custom interface settings we'll be covering at a later stage when we're looking at My Tasks and how to add a task and add activities. The final section under My Profile is Calendar Settings. Calendar settings we will also be covering when we're dealing with the My Calendar section within WorkPool. The final button remaining on the shortcut panel is WorkPool Administration. Only WorkPool administrators will have access to this button. This allows WorkPool administrators to add users, remove users, and change configuration of the WorkPool. Underneath the WorkPool Administration button, there is a View Task section and an empty column. This area is provided to add any task number, press Enter, and WorkPool will immediately take you to that specific task. This ensures quick and easy access to client requests when required. To the right hand side of the shortcut panel is the WorkPool logo. When you receive new email within WorkPool, an envelope will display within the WorkPool logo. You will then be able to click on the logo and it will take you to your inbox displaying all new email.